Yo, what up, internet weirdos? Okay, imagine this, right? You wake up, your head's pounding, like someone replaced your brain with a washing machine full of bricks.
Uh-huh.
Not ideal.
And the first clear thought is, wait, did I trade my car for like a lifetime supply of novelty rubber chickens last night?
That kind of vibe.
Okay, I'm with you. A rough morning.
Exactly. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping feet first into a Reddit story that is just, it's so brilliantly dumb, it's almost art.
It really is something. We found this gem over on our Best of Redditor updates.
Ah.
And let me tell you, it starts with a classic blackout drinking scenario, but spirals into something, well, way more complicated. Unexpected, maybe.
Unexpected is putting it mildly. So yeah, our sources.
Yeah.
One Reddit post from like July 2020, ancient history,
Right.
and then boom, an update drops in February 2025. It popped up and it takes things from uh-oh to wait, what? Real fast.
Definitely.
So our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to unpack this whole bonkers mess, Smosh style. Think dumb laughs, maybe some questionable analysis. One of us lays out the story, the facts, whatever, and the other one just reacts to how absolutely nuts it all is. Sound good?
Sounds like a plan. I'll try to keep the actual, details straight while you provide the color commentary.
Perfect. Oh, and rule, no repeating each other. Gotta keep it fresh. Let's dive in.
All right.
Okay, so picture it. Boyfriend, girlfriend, been together 3 years. Things are apparently pretty good, like solid communication.
Yeah, they actually talked about feelings, used their words, didn't just, have screaming matches. They resolved stuff.
They thought they were endgame, like reaching the final boss in a video game you're weirdly good at.
Huh. End game.
Yeah.
It's always funny when people say that, right? Like it's a done deal.
Mhm.
Relationships are more like, I don't know, Jenga.
Yeah.
Always one wrong move away from disaster.
Totally. Okay, but here's the thing. The boyfriend, he kind of had this history. Getting super, super drunk with his friends and doing well. Dumb things.
Dumb things, yes.
Yeah.
Vague, but we get the picture. Importantly, it wasn't directed at her, apparently. Just general drunken idiocy.
Right. And she was mostly okay with it, but she did notice it was like escalating, getting a bit worse.
Which is often how these things go, isn't it?
Yeah.
It starts small, seems harmless, then kind of snowballs.
And plot twist, COVID. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Fun times.
They end up long distance for 4 months because of it. Trying to keep the magic alive over Zoom calls. Awkward.
Definitely put a strain on things, I imagine. That whole period was just weird for everyone, especially relationships.
So boyfriend calls her and he is sobbing, full on ugly crying.
Oh, no.
Says that last month he got completely blackout drunk, like lights out, nobody home.
Yikes.
And he thinks he slept with someone, an old acquaintance from high school he was just like catching up with.
Thanks. So he doesn't actually know for sure.
Nope. Remembers the very start of the night, maybe. Then, nothing. Just a big blank.
Dude, wow.
He apparently wanted to tell her in person, which
Wow.
is something, but also didn't want to just like spring it on her the second she got off the plane.
Yeah, there's no good way to deliver that news, is there? Welcome back. Guess what? Terrible.
Right. Like, surprise, I might be a terrible person. Worst welcome home gift ever.
Truly.
And to top it all off, he admits he has a drinking problem, like straight up says it, but also says he has no idea why this happened.
Well, the admission, good, necessary. But the I don't know why part, that got to be rough to hear. Doesn't exactly inspire confidence.
Seriously. So the girlfriend is just processing, hurt, confused, probably feels like she stepped into the wrong movie.
Totally understandable. Your whole reality just got shaken up.
But she does respect him for telling her, because honestly, she probably never would have found out otherwise.
That's true. The honesty, even in this awful situation, counts for something. Shows a sliver of something decent, maybe.
Yeah. And he's getting tested and all that. So some responsible moves happening amidst the chaos.
Okay, good. Practical steps.
But now she's stuck, right? Like, what do you even do? Can they fix this? If he stops drinking, does everything magically go back to normal?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Can you rebuild trust after something like this?
Especially because she says their relationship was incredible before this. Big ol' air quotes around incredible now, I guess.
Yeah, incredible. Suddenly has a giant footnote attached. It really shows how fragile things can be.
Then someone in the original Reddit comments brings up a point.
Mm-hmm.
What about the high school friend? Was she being creepy, taking advantage of a guy who was blackout drunk?
Ooh, that adds another layer entirely. Shifts the focus a bit, doesn't it? Makes it not just about him potentially cheating, but also about consent.
Exactly. So the girlfriend actually asks him about it. Like, was this friend acting weird?
Okay, interesting. What did he say?
He says the friend was actually supposed to be the designated driver that night.
The DDO. Come on.
Right. But then she apparently decided not to be the DD late in the game, started drinking too, but was definitely less drunk than him. and she initiated things.
Wow. Okay. That's not a great look for the friend.
But here's the thing. He tells the girlfriend he doesn't want her blaming the friend because he still feels he had an active role in whatever happened.
Even while blacked out. How does that work? An
Yeah.
active role where you're not mentally present? That's confusing.
Yeah, it's like I was actively unconscious. Makes no sense. But okay, fast forward. Big jump.
How long?
4 years. It's February 2025 in the update. And guess what?
They're married with twins.
Haha, not quite. But they are still together. They worked through it.
Whoa. 4 years. Okay, that's surprising
Yeah.
and impressive in a way.
Yeah.
That takes serious work.
Apparently, the boyfriend really owned up to his mistake. Didn't wait for her to tell him what to do.
What did he do?
He immediately started Googling stuff, how to rebuild trust, how not to be a relationship disaster. Probably found some very interesting search results.
I can only imagine. Top 10 ways to fix colossal screw-ups.
Right. And he proactively offered to stop drinking entirely. Found himself a therapist who specializes in alcohol issues and relationship stuff.
Okay, that's huge. Taking initiative like that. Therapy is a big step.
And he suggested couples counseling, offered to pay for it all. He was really putting in the effort.
Wow. Okay. He seems to have understood the gravity of the situation and his role in it, even with the memory gaps.
Yeah. Now, back to the consent thing. She described it as mixed territory because he had that tiny flicker of memory of maybe being into it at first.
Right. The confusion of blackout memories.
So, at the girlfriend's request, he calls the other woman to get her side of the story. Can you imagine making that call?
Oh, guy. Awkward doesn't even begin to cover it. Hey, I remember that night. What actually happened? Asking for my girlfriend.
Cringe. So awkward. But wait till you hear what the friend said happened.
Okay, I'm ready. Lay it on me.
According to her, the more sober one, remember they couldn't actually have sex because of whiskey dick?
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Okay. Did not see that coming.
Nope. And then apparently he just randomly ran out of the room and she later found him passed out in his bed alone.
Wait, so nothing actually happened?
Yeah.
Like happened. The thing he confessed to wasn't even real.
Seems like it. Or at least not the way he feared. It was an attempted hookup that failed due to technical difficulties, followed by a bizarre exit.
That changes, well, not everything, but it changes a lot. The core issue of the drinking and blackout is still there, but the infidelity part is different.
Totally different. So after hearing that version, boyfriend ends the friendship with the other woman, deletes her number, full stop. Focuses on his girlfriend and fixing things.
Makes sense. Cutting ties with someone who was involved in that night, especially given her questionable DD behavior, seems wise.
But get this. Even after hearing her story, the boyfriend still wasn't sure if it was the whole truth. He'd get upset sometimes, trying to remember, wanting the complete picture to heal.
The frustration of not being able to trust your own memory. Blackouts really mess with your head.
His therapist told him memory plays tricks, especially during blackouts. You can confabulate, mix things up. It's messy.
Yeah, the brain tries to fill in the gaps, but it doesn't always use accurate information. That must have been incredibly difficult for him, too.
So they did the couples therapy. She said it was incredible and took no bullshitting, just straight talk.
Good. Therapy often needs that direct approach, especially for something this complex. No dancing around the issues.
They rebuilt trust, talked about hurt feelings, obviously, but also practical stuff like how she could feel more comfortable when he goes out. They set up requests, not rules.
It's a smart distinction.
Yeah.
Requests implies partnership and respect, whereas rules can feel controlling and build resentment.
Yeah. And phones weren't off limits. They actually shared passwords.
Whoa, full transparency.
In the beginning, yeah. She'd ask to see his texts or DMs and they'd look together. Even now, years later, they don't hide incoming messages from each other.
That's a significant level of openness. It can be helpful for rebuilding, but it's definitely intense.
So, 4 years on, she says it's still a scar. It's not like it never happened. But she sees him now as someone who will always work on the relationship, who chose to tell her when he didn't have to.
That follow-through seems key. The initial confession was important, but the consistent effort afterwards is what likely solidified things.
And even now, if she brings it up, feels insecure. He listens, apologizes again, offers reassurance, lets her look at his phone, talks it through, offers to call the therapist, whatever she needs.
That continued validation of her feelings, even years later, is pretty remarkable. It shows he understands the long-term impact.
She also said the whole incident kind of forced them both to grow up. Before this, they were both big partiers.
Okay, so it wasn't just his issue, maybe.
Well, she admitted that back in college, she used to drink a lot at frat parties, specifically to numb herself, and she'd yell at him when she was drunk and he just wanted to go to sleep.
Okay. So there were maybe some unhealthy patterns on both sides related to alcohol and coping, even before the main incident.
Yeah, sounds like it. They realized they weren't kids anymore and that lifestyle wasn't going to work for a healthy long-term thing. Counseling helped them figure that out, become stronger.
It sounded like the crisis forced a necessary reevaluation of their whole dynamic and individual behaviors.
And she finished with this, like, wisdom bomb. Humans are far from perfect. They make mistakes. But humans are also capable of growing and changing when they are fully willing to put in the work.
That's actually a really good takeaway. It acknowledges the reality of mistakes, but emphasizes the potential for genuine change if someone is committed.
Her final point was just that. In these situations, the most important thing is how the person owns up and makes active changes.
Absolutely. It's not just about saying sorry. It's about demonstrating change through consistent action, accountability in motion.
Now, you know Reddit. The comment section was lively.
Oh, I bet. What were people saying?
Well, apparently the vibe on the subreddit changed a lot between the original post and the update. Got much more judgmental about cheating.
Interesting. Online communities definitely evolve, so people were harsher in the later comments.
Yeah. And the boyfriend apparently read some of the super negative, once a cheater, always a cheater stuff online, which made him feel even worse while he was trying to fix things.
Ugh, yeah. That kind of blanket judgment isn't helpful when someone is genuinely trying to change. It ignores all the nuance.
Some comments were more supportive, saying forgiveness is possible, but doesn't mean you have to stay. You can forgive and still leave if the trust is gone.
That's a crucial distinction. Forgiveness is for you. Reconciliation is a joint decision.
But others were kind of side-eyeing the whole situation after 4 years, questioning the phone checking, wondering if it was really healthy or if it had become, like, codependent.
That's a fair point to raise. There's a fine line between reassurance measures and ongoing suspicion or control. Where does rebuilding trust and unhealthy monitoring begin?
And someone called out the healthy description of their early relationship, given the heavy drinking and fighting she mentioned.
Right. What we normalize isn't always actually healthy. Self-awareness there is key.
Then there was the big debate. Was it cheating? Was it sexual assault because he was blackout? Or some weird gray area?
That's the million-dollar ethical question, isn't it? Especially with him being blackout and her apparently initiating, it's incredibly murky.
People definitely discussed the consent issue, especially with the friend ditching her DD duties. Some felt strongly he was taken advantage of.
The DDD aspect really complicates the friend's role and actions. It suggests a breach of trust even before anything else happened.
The girlfriend herself weighed in, saying someone blackout drunk can't consent, even if they seem to go along with it. But she also said that doesn't excuse repeated drunk hookups as not cheating.
So she's navigating that complexity too. Acknowledging the consent issue in this specific instance doesn't give a free pass for all intoxicated behavior. It's nuanced.
Yeah. But ultimately, most agreed the reason she stayed was his reaction, taking full responsibility, doing the work, changing his behavior.
Actions speaking louder than words, or in this case, louder than blackout confusion.
Though some commenters were really focused on the essay angle, arguing he shouldn't be taking any blame if he was assaulted.
It highlights the difficulties society still has in discussing male victims of potential assault and the complexities of intoxication and consent for everyone involved.
Plus, her own history with drinking to numb herself got brought up again.
Right, suggesting maybe they both had things to work on regarding their relationship with alcohol.
And the phone checking, again. Some found it understandable, others questioned if it was still necessary 4 years later, especially if they leaned towards the essay interpretation.
It's a tough one. Does the potential essay negate the need for trust-building measures, or does the initial breach, regardless of definition, warrant them? No easy answer.
And people wondered about the other woman. Did she know he had a girlfriend? Or her actions definitely predatory, more loose ends.
Yeah, her motives and knowledge remain a bit of a black box in the story.
But yeah, wrapping it up. The girlfriend's main point stands. How someone owns up and changes is what really matters.
A solid conclusion to a very messy, very human story. It shows that even really difficult situations can be worked through, but it takes immense effort, honesty, and a willingness to change from everyone involved.
So the moral of the story, maybe don't get blackout drunk. Or if you do, maybe don't immediately confess to things you think happened but aren't sure about.
Oh.
Or maybe just stick to, like, caffeinated beverages.
Perhaps just communicate and maybe get therapy before things potentially explode.
Radical. Okay, final thought. If you ever wake up unsure if you traded your dignity for a half-eaten burrito, maybe just go back to sleep. Don't call anyone yet. All right, go contemplate the chaos of human relationships. Peace out, weirdos.
Remember, growth is possible, but it takes work. Be kind to yourselves and each other.